Okay, so this is the top hat that we have created in the last one. What we're going to do is just go for a very basic UV unwrap and texture, just to kind of give you an idea of what it's all about. So the main thing that we need to do is we want this ribbon to be a slightly different colour to the rest of it. So I think the rest of it will do grey and the ribbon will do as black. So to do that we need to UV unwrap it. So the easiest way that I've found to do that is in the workspace, go down to UV editing, hit that. So we've got this selected at the moment, so it automatically throws in a base UV, but we don't want this UV because this isn't going to give us everything that we need in order to texture this properly. So what I'll do is I will delete that. What we're going to do is going to go for a create. We're going to go for create an automatic, just because that's normally the easiest way of setting this up. So let's do that. Oh, excuse me, I hadn't had the object itself selected. So object selected, create automatic. Let's try that again. 6 planes, less distortion, fewer pieces. Project, apply. There we go. So we just had to project it. So now you can see the planes. So we've got north, south, east, or whatever, and above and below, and that's fine because that gives us all of this. And what we can do now that we've got all of this working, as you see, as I'm selecting each individual bit, you see the corresponding area on this UV is highlighted, so it gives you a really clear indication of which bit corresponds to which area of the UV. Now what we want is to just know where these bits are, because this is the ribbon that we're going to be altering the colour of. So it's those, what is that 3 or is that 4? Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's those 4 bits down there. They're the ones that we're going to have in a specific colour. Everything else doesn't really matter. Everything else we'll leave as is, or we'll make it like I said earlier, a grey colour, and we'll have the ribbon as black. Okay, so to do that, what we now need is to go to image, and we can just take a UV snapshot. And what I'll do of this is call this Tophat basic, and that's going to go onto the desktop. Save it wherever you want. The size is just going to be how big the image is, so how much detail you can pack into it. 2048 by 2048 is fine for me, for what I want. This is the tile, so this is how many actual squares it's going to create. So this will go 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will create, that will create 16. I just want 1 by 1. I just want that. Supply that. So yeah, so Tophat basic. We'll apply and close this. Yes, we want to overwrite that. So let's just shrink that down. Have a look at Tophat basic. There we go. That's what we want, and we know that these ones are the ones that we're interested in for actually getting everything done. So what I'll do now is I will open this with Photoshop. It's a preference. You open it with any image processing that you want. It's all good. So all I want to do, like I said, is I want to get a grey, still quite a dark grey, but a grey nonetheless. And then we'll go for paint bucket. There we go. That's what we want. So it's just these 4 here. So we should just be able to do this. Control S will save it as it is, and it's going to save exactly the same file. So we're not changing the file at all, it's exactly the same file. We've saved that. We'll close that down. Now I had Maya open the whole time, so Maya's still here, still open. So this, while this is the same UV, this should now enable us to just get straight into this again and set the textures up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come out of the UV editing mode and I'm going to go back into Maya Classic. So let's now select the object, select the whole object, bosh, there we go. So now what we can do is go into the attribute editor, we'll go and we will find the material. The material is always the furthest right, Lambert 1, there we go. So what we want here is we want to change the color. We want the color to be the color map that we've just created, that UV snapshot. So we'll click on the little bit that looks like a monochrome Battenberg cake. Well, from this huge set of possibilities, don't worry about it, just find file. You'll find file fairly easily. If you can't find it, just type file into the box there. That will then give you a box whereby you can load whatever file you want. We'll click on that. Now what we want is what's on the desktop, and it will be Tophat Basic. Click on that. That's the right one because that's got the colouring that we want. Open. We leave that there. Now what we can do is go into render it. We'll just click on that. So what we need to do first of all is to give a light. So we will do, let's do a sky dome. There we go, nice and easy. Sky dome, bosh. So now we can click onto render view, click on play. There we go. So we've got a black hat with a grey bit around the edge. Now that's just the basics of this. Let's just go into the full mode one. There we go. So you know that it gives you an idea of what it would look like if you did it like this. Obviously we've left those guides in, so then it's kind of more obvious when you see the model itself to see which bit on the model refers to which bit in real life, if you like. So then when I click onto this, you can see how it all breaks down. But there we go, that's how to use a JPEG, how to use the UV unwrap and then a JPEG to texture an object. What we might do for next time, we'll tidy up that UV, so then we get rid of all of those lines, and then we'll just keep working on it from there. So this is now where we're up to. I've tidied up the actual unwrap itself, so that's all looking, you know, quite a lot cleaner, tidier. I've added some noise in to the actual material. When that loads, you'll see that loading there. There we go. So it's given it more of a kind of natural, like felt feel to the hat as a whole. There we are. And this is just in render view. This is just Arnold render view that we're using to watch this, just because this is very straightforward and simple to see everything in. And you can get the real-time update of how it's all looking, which is pretty good.